Hello, I am Archivist Asheron, and welcome to my study. And today, we are back once more to playing there it is, Asheron's Call. Now, this is a different character, again. This is my two-hander character that I have been attempting to level up in, like, I don't know, the last 3 days or something. I have not spent a bunch of time on them. They've leveled up pretty quick due to the facility hub and other such stuff. And now I'm in the marketplace hub, and I am upset. My peeve is thoroughly petted, because here's the thing. Yesterday, which is the day before today, in case you didn't know, I did a bunch of quests. Specifically, I think like 5 quests. Let's see. Yeah, it was the Sunstone Gauntlets quest, the Healer's Heart quest, the 3 Korazite things quest, and the Gumshoe quest, which is a fun quest, but it takes a long time because there's a lot of dialogue. And it is really easy. There's no fighting in that quest. So that one we can redo pretty easily, just it'll take some time. But the issue is, here's the issue. You see this guy, she wants the Sunstone Gauntlets. She's like, oh, please, somebody let me see some Sunstone Gauntlets. I need to see them, and I will give you a ton of XP and MMDs for it. And then you're like, okay, well, I have some Sunstone Gauntlets that I just got yesterday, because I couldn't turn them in yesterday because I was level 68. You can only turn them in once you're 70 plus. So I was like, okay, I'll just get all the quests done at 68 and then level up to 70 tomorrow, because, you know, I just wanted to get a jump on the quests so I could actually finish them all before I hit 80, and then you wouldn't get XP for the quests anymore. And it turns out she says this: the item you possess was not recently acquired. You're telling me yesterday isn't recent? How recently do you want these? Do you want me to, like, pull the forge up right here and smith you some Sunstone Gauntlets and give them to you when they're red hot? How is yesterday not recent? Tell me that, lady. Okay, but here's the issue. As I said, it wasn't just the gauntlets. It was the gauntlets, the Healer's Heart, which is an annoying quest because there's a lot of running and lock picking, but I think I remember the route for that. And it was all 3 levels of Korazite and the Gumshoe. So all of these quests I didn't get any credit for in here because I did them yesterday, not today. So I'm upset about that. You know, I understand they probably implemented that so that people can't just keep these items, any of them that aren't attune bonded, which I think most of them are. This one isn't. And these aren't, I don't think. This is. So yeah, a lot of them are attune bonded, but not all of them. So I can see why they would implement something that makes it so you can't transfer it between characters so that you can get the reward of multiple people. Like what people can do with the facility hub thing, where they just have a goodie bag where you can just turn them all in a row because you don't actually need to do the quest because you already have the items. So I can see why they would implement something like a failsafe for that. But at the same time, come on, man. Like, it was one day. What? I didn't know I had to turn them in immediately. I wasn't even high enough level to do it yesterday. And nobody told me there was an issue on that. But hopefully, with them saying that they aren't recent, that means that the quest timer is back up again, meaning I can do it again. So I'm hoping that I'll just be able to go through and do all these. I actually need to find where do I get low-grade cores? I didn't look this up first. Chunk of low-grade Korazite. Where does one get that? Legion Mines. Alright, Calabar. So this will be the test to see if any of these are off cooldown yet, because I think this was the first one I did. But yeah, it is an upsetting day when, you know, you show up at the marketplace, a fresh level 70 with 9 quest items to turn in, and you're happy as can be, and then they just reject 5 out of 9 of your quest items because or 6 out of 9? 6 out of 9 of your quest items just because you did them the day before instead of the day of, and no one told you there was a time limit on it. I'm very salty about it. Apology. it 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 grinds my gears, honestly. It just like what do you mean it's not recently acquired? What do you mean by that? These people. Where was I going? Southern something. Southern Park? Southern Park. South Park. Was South Park out when Asheron's Call came out? Is that a reference to that, or is this just a park that is in the southern region? I don't know. I didn't really think about that the first time I went through this quest. But luckily, all of these quests are pretty easy except for this one. The Healer's Heart was kind of a freaking... it was annoying. Because there's a lot of running, a lot of lockpicking, you gotta be fast. But luckily it was not as bad as the Chandelier Gem, which is a dungeon I've soloed before, and today I soloed again earlier this morning. So it's obviously possible, but it is not easy. Because, and the wiki even claims that the quest is impossible to solo, or at least impractical to solo. So they have it set as a group quest, but it is possible. It is doable, because what you do is you just need to hit levers 3, 7, 12, and 14, as those are the only doors you go through, and then you just need to memorize the route and go straight there. Straight to the end, through all the doors, within 60 seconds or so. It's not that hard. It can be done if you just remember the route properly, and it also helps if you have a utility belt, because then you can see exactly where you've been, and that helps a lot. Loot the guy, thank you. No, don't loot the guy again. To unloot him. There we go. Okay. So yeah, we're gonna need to get all this stuff again. I don't know what I'm gonna do with 2 things of low-grade Corazite. You only really need 1, I think, for the hollow weapons. Unless those are givable. Maybe I can make like a hollow weapon for another character and give it to them. I don't know. I don't know how this is gonna work. These are kind of quests that you're supposed to do once. Not have to do them numerous times to be able to turn them in properly. So, yes. And the Sunstone Gauntlets might be a little tough. The boss there is level 100 and they cast a lot of spells. But unless I get super unlucky, I shouldn't have any issue with it. Alright, but these guys aren't an issue. They just hide behind the rock. Oh, but we have a lag, of course. Dude's the thing. Thank you. Well, I'm able to pick it up. Can I? Does this have a timer? It doesn't. Okay, so being able to pick it up doesn't really indicate anything. That is unfortunate. Well, now I have 2 of these. I need to give that to someone. I'm just making more work for myself. What the heck? You teleport? Thank you. That felt like that took longer than normal. But, you know, I like two-handed combat. I really like the AoE capabilities. Like, I've been enjoying the archer, but it always same with mages. It always feels so limiting to only be able to target and attack one target at a time. So having a two-handed character is real nice because you get all the AoE for pretty much no extra cost. I mean, this character is more offensively capable than my archer is. They don't have as much self-buffing, but I am planning to just stick with variants of the Explorer armor for as long as I can, essentially. I'm gonna go make a dedicated trip to Beach Fort just to see if the guy'll refine this. Because if I get all three and then he won't refine it, and then the ore is old by the time I get back to the marketplace and they don't accept it, I would be upset. So we need to make sure the timers are actually up before I go and do too much else. Well, I guess the timer wouldn't start until I give it and he refines it, right? Yeah, so that probably wouldn't be an issue. So I guess we'll collect all three anyway. We'll just go and turn this in first to be sure that the timers are up. Because there are other quests like the Sunstone Gauntlets that have a more exact timer that I won't be able to pick up the head until I actually get that done. And it's only a short run out here. But yeah, this is the first time I've ever done a lot of the marketplace quests. I only did, I think, the first round of them on my archer before I just started doing dailies and shot up past the level that the marketplace quests were at. But I realized you're able to get cool things like salvage and stuff out of these portal stones. And I was like, man, I'm struggling to keep up on salvage demand right now, so I should probably do all of these and actually, you know, get the good money out of it. So that's what I'm gonna do. Not all of them. I think with this bracket I have to skip the Viridian Scalpel quest because not only was it saying that putting the scalpel together takes light weapon skill, which I don't have, but also it was saying that the thing that drops it is like a rare spawn on the plateau. And so it's like I couldn't even, I ran around the plateau for a bit. I couldn't find the rare spawn to get the portal gem to start the quest. So I just kind of gave up on that one. These plate, they are. I really need to go get that quest. I should do that. Where is that? That's Fort Tathana, I think. Wisps. My arch nemesis. I hate you. Die. Thank you. Oh, how polite of them. But you know, this is one of the first characters I've ever actually used. He's over here. Recklessness on. Here, please. Refine this. A piece of that new ore. Okay, good. So this is the new one. Now let's go to the marketplace and see if they can smell the fresh refinedness off of the Corazite. You know? See if they're actually gonna let me turn in any of my quests this time. Because, yeesh. I think it's forward to the left here. Which one of you wanted this? I don't know, what one of you did. I'll just keep handing it to people until they take it. Oh, there, that didn't take long. And they did indeed take the item. And they did indeed give me a reward for it. So that is good. And now I just put this down here. These are heavy, and now I have to have 2 of each. Why does it gotta be like that? Let's see, chunk of medium, mediu. There we go. Lugeon Quarry. Baishi to Tattered Ridge. Okay, I can do that. Man, at least this stuff is on a 20-hour cooldown. I was worried the Corazite would be on like a 1-week cooldown. And I would definitely be above level 80 within a week. So, that would be an incredibly unfortunate turn of events. Oh, they have one of those helmets. I'm planning to get all the heritage mask helmets as well. Not only for the transmogs, but also for just hanging up in my house. I think they could be put on wall hooks. At least they should be. Oh, settlement portals are right here. I do not want to go in the combat arena. Thank you very much. Alright. Yeah, I was autopiloting towards the Matron Hive East, but I am too low level for that. And that's not where we're heading to. Which one was it? It was Tattered Ridge, that's it. I, I, I have it up on my other monitor, kind of overlaid over my OBS, but I didn't want to check it. Where? Oh, yeah. Isn't it? High Mountain Valley, right? Yeah, then run to High Mountain Valley. Yes. But yeah, I have it up on the other monitor, but I didn't really want to look at it because I knew that if I just saw the name of the portal, I'd recognize it. It's Iron Golems. Yeah, that's another thing that they really need to fix. I think that's a retail issue, though. That's not really a Levistras issue, but still something that should be remedied is that the Iron Golems still spawn in the same areas as when they were like what, level 40 or something, and yet now they're level 160 because of the shattered something and crystal something, you know, that quest, which I like that quest, but they kind of, I think it was for that quest that they upped the level of the iron golems for it, and that's no good. That's just not nice because they never changed the spawning locations, so some newbies are gonna just run across some iron golems and get obliterated by level 160 golems shooting level 6 fire spells at them. Like that's just not fair. So something they should probably remedy. I would say if it was my server, I would probably go and just fix that up. Either stop them from spawning in lower level areas or have the ones in the high level dungeon be a higher level variant of the same mob, but not the same mob. So that you can move the other iron golems back down to low level. You know? I wonder if they changed what iron golem hearts do. I should look at that. Because, now we're pretty much where we need to be. Legion Quarry, that's where we're going. So while you auto-run that direction, I'll look this up. Iron Golem Heart. I'm pretty sure they drop a heart. No, it's just Iron Heart. There's no golem in it. Iron Heart. There he is. Master Keyring. What does that hold? Master Keys. Okay, so I guess they did lower, or they upped also the thing that the heart makes. Because Master Keys, I think, are higher level, right? Well, they're only difficulty 175. That's not a high level, actually. Used to open Master's Holdings. Loot tier 3 to 4. Yeah, so that's a low level thing. By level 160, you're at like, mana forge chests and the like. You're not dealing with loot tier 3 to 4 BS. How are you able to hit me? I guess I'm out of attack mode, but still, what level are you? 80? You're not supposed to be that. Have that high of an attack skill? Get out of here. Give me your robe. Hey, you actually did. What a surprise. Okay. Let's keep moving. So yeah, it seems the Iron Hearts are still pretty low level, all things considered. So, no good reason to have them be level 160, which I think someone was mentioning that their XP went up proportionally, but their health and other certain stats didn't. So in theory, they are easier than most level 160 mobs, but they still cast level 6 spells, which is kind of the scariest part about them. And I still probably would not want to be fighting them at a low level at all. Give me. Thank you. My inventory is going to be so full after this. I've been collecting Covenant armor, though, as you can see. I've probably missed a lot of it, but I'm trying to get, for transmogging, 3 sets of Covenant armor. I want a set of gold Covenant armor for my main melee character, and that'll go... Okay, this is the wrong way. I'm not looking at a map for this. I'm just trying to go off of vague memory from yesterday. But yeah, the gold armor, there's no way through here either. Oh, this is the one where you need to take the side path right off the bat, isn't it? That's why none of this looked familiar from yesterday. Because you're supposed to go immediately... elsewhere? This way? Just keep going over the mana trap. Yeah, so I'll use the gold bull helmet for my shield melee person, and have gold Covenant armor for them, and then I'll use the helmet we saw a minute ago on that other person's transmog, where it was the, like, the, what is it, the elk? Stag? Yeah, I think it's the Stag of Beleness or something. And that will go on my archer, and so that I want them to have silver Covenant armor with blue accents, and then, you know, to match the helmet. And then on this character, I was thinking to use the green boar helmet and have green Covenant armor. So that's my plan. 3 matching transmogs, all that, you know, go together with the heritage masks, which look really cool. And I think that'll be fun. That'll be a good time. But I need to collect a lot of it, and then I need to make sure that they vaguely match not only each other, but also the mask itself. Oh, the thing just obliterated. Alright. Well, let's go to the high grade. Chunk of high grade quartzite from the excavations. Lugeon Meadows portal in Mayoi. Why do they word it like that? You know, I saw a route on the wiki. What is that reference that I'm thinking of where they're reading something and they put the warning like at the end of the instructions, which happen to end up on like the next page, and so they're just like, stick your hand in the molten metal, and then they do it, and it's just like, if you want to lose your hand. Why did they word it like that? You know, like they put the warning after you've already read the instruction. And it did the same thing on the wiki earlier. I don't remember what quest it was, but they were just like, oh yes, you can go over here and go to your mansion and take the Direland's portal device, which I don't have. I don't have a mansion. And then it will take you to the Direlands, and then run this many clicks to go to this dungeon. Or alternatively, you could go, and it like tells me some slightly easier route. And then the third thing, way under that, was alternatively from that, you could also just go, you know, this portal, straight over to this portal, and it's like a 1-click run from there. It's like, why do you put the easiest route at the bottom? Also, where am I? Right, I'm going here. I was confused. But yeah, Mayoi. Lugeon Meadows or something. Because yeah, with this example, usually they say like, go to the Mayoi settlement portals and take the Lugeon Meadows portal. But with this, it's like in the opposite order. So they say take the Lugeon Meadows portal, and it gives coordinates in Mayoi. And it's like, that wording makes it more confusing, because then I'm sitting here wondering if Lugeon Meadows is actually a settlement portal or if it's just a nearby portal to Mayoi. It's hard to tell. But I got what it was meaning, luckily. Oak Golem. I was like, what the heck is that thing? It looked different from below and being all disassembled. Alright, Lugian excavations. This place, I think, was decently difficult. It has hollow rock throwers, as far as I remember. High-level Lugians. Shouldn't be anything that I have too much trouble with. This character's been pretty beefy so far. But I guess at low levels, any character that is played properly is pretty beefy. But hopefully as we level up, things will get easier. Because I still need to get, let's see, mana conversion. Where's the portal? Here it is. I have item enchantment, so I can enchant my armor and teleport places. But I don't yet have mana conversion, so I can't even use the item enchantment at all. Which is very sad. It's like I can cast maybe 3 or 4 spells and then just out of mana entirely. But with a full set of this stuff, if you have, you know, item enchantment, then you pretty much are fully buffed. You have all the important weapon skill and healing skill and protection spells and, you know, everything. And then you put the item enchantment on top of it, and you're solid. Ow. Dang rocks. Okay, I think it's not this one. I remember from yesterday, it's not the first left, it's the second left. This leads up this way. I should put on my fire weapon. Put on your fire, thank you. Just standing there, considering putting on the fire weapon. He's like, should I? I don't know. Ow. Dang hollow weapons. And high-level Lugians that have them. We need to take down their numbers a bit. That's where being a two-hander character excels. Except I can't. Why is it that I can't dodge these guys as much? I feel like this was a lot easier last time I was in here. I was significantly lower level at that time. Well, not significantly. I was a few levels lower. So why are these guys hitting me so much more now than then? Oh, I think it's because I ran all the way over into this corner next to this and fought them over here. So I think they were only attacking me from this side. And there I was just fighting them straight up, and I guess that wasn't a good idea. But, you know, it's fine. We didn't really take that. We only got down to about half at worst. So, not bad at all. Plus, buffing wouldn't have helped us at all because the hollow weapons, they're brutal. Oh, but I guess they do still hit harder than most because all of these do come with impenetrability. So without that impenetrability, let's see. How much is it without? 255, yeah. So I guess they were hitting us at the baseline 255 level. Why are you stronger than the others? That's weird. Anyway. So yeah, that's no good. Let's head back to Beachfort and turn these in real quick. Don't want them to get old, you know? Quest givers hate stale quest rewards, apparently. And then we gotta go and do the Sunstone Gauntlets. And then it's just the Healer's Heart after that, right? Or no, and then the Gumshoe Token. Yeah, that quest, as I said, I don't think you need to fight a single enemy, but it is a long quest. Most of it's emotes. But it's a funny quest. I should read all the quest text that's, you know, mixed in with it, because it's a very interesting and honestly well-made quest, because a lot of the dialogue in there is very on point, and also like integrating real life stuff or sayings with Asheron's Call lore and locations, which is pretty great if you ask me. I should salvage all these things. My inventory is getting a bit full and I do not like that. And throw all our these into here just for the heck of it. There we go. Oh, we missed some. Like you. There we go. Am I going the right way? I was too busy salvaging. We are. Good. Glad to see it. You know, I'm just happy I don't have to redo, like, the Aegis quest, or especially the Shendelane quest. Because that one was difficult. All the other ones are just kind of annoying to redo, but that one was genuinely the toughest one of them. So how do you refine the ore without lowering the weight of it at all? How does that work? Usually when you refine something, it gets smaller. Because you're, you know, getting rid of excess and other such products. There you go, my good man. Don't let him in the door, please. Okay. Let's just go back to home. And we're gonna go get the Sunstone Gauntlets first before turning in. And then we'll do these two because they're the two actually difficult quests in this. Sunstone only takes a minute. Also, he says he doesn't know any smiths with a forge hot enough to shape it, the Chorazite. But how does that work? Because how do you refine something without forging it to any degree? Usually it was like a chunk of ore. Maybe like somehow powders it, just hits it so hard that it powderifies, and then, you know, he just puts it through sieve or something. Maybe he puts a magnet to it, gets rid of any like magnetic things in the ore, like trace iron or whatever. I don't know. I don't know how you would do that if you can't melt it down. Or maybe he does have a forge hot enough, but maybe he's just not a smith. We're not going into Martine's retreat. That's it. Okay, now we don't need to talk to anyone first. We just go in subterranean farm. And this place is rather linear, if I remember correctly. We just go to the bottom, kill the level 100 dude. Hope we don't get one shot by a bunch of spells. And then we're good. Hi, rats. Nobody's got time for you rats. Oh yeah, we need to kill the wasps, because last time I went in there, the wasps actually followed me into the boss room, and that caused issues. So, we're gonna find his boss room, and then kill any surviving wasps. Like you guys, I think you guys are the problem wasps. Yeah, because then the boss room is right here. You know, it's been years. Years, how many years has it been? But it has been so very long since you actually needed to attack high to hit Fintos wasps. And yet I still do it. Like, the muscle memory for it is still locked in there. Yeah, the slight lag is a little not good. Definitely makes the jump looting a bit less efficient. So we'll just loot the regular way. Except for now, when there's 3 things to get, then I get lazy again. Yeah, I guess we gotta stop by a wing collector. We definitely do, oh my gosh. That's some really good wing luck. Usually you get not that many wings off of that many wasps. But okay. Who's ready for a fresh head from some guy down here? Hey, come chase me up here. So I can thin you guys out and kill you like a few at a time. Why am I slow? Why am I slow and acting like I'm still getting hit by things back there? Because I shouldn't be. Come in here. Thank you. Can you heal? Thank you. Man, it is. I'm already at full health. Ah, well, who would have guessed that? Nobody asked. Yeah, it is. For some reason... Oh, and my internet has been fluctuating the last little bit for some reason as well. That's great. Guess I need to reset my internet again. Well, at least we got this guy. I looked, and I think this just is a lore thing, so I don't need it. So let's go... Well, actually, I don't even need a... It would be faster to lead now. I'll just go the safer route when it's laggy. And while we're doing that, I guess I might as well reset my interwebs. Because obviously something about it is not agreeing with existence. Okay, just a quick on and off, and hopefully it'll start being nice. Can I just give these to the regular collector? I don't feel like remembering where a wing collector is. There we go, thank you. I think you get more reward for turning them into a wing collector, but I'm too lazy for that. Oh, we gotta drop this somewhere. That's the... Where are we going? Alluvium. To get to the guy. We'll put this right out front, the Rithwick portal. So any fellow Rithwick connoisseurs can mine from Lugian mines. In case they have to get double of their Chorazite as well. But I better hurry before this Chorazite goes stale. You never know. I don't know what the timer is. Is it the 20-hour timer? Is it an hour? Is it 5 hours, 6 hours? Who's to say? I don't think it says anywhere. I didn't really look. Because, I assumed that it was like the facility hub, where you could just kind of grab the items and then turn them in whenever. Because, I could probably grab the Ice Tachi at exactly level 10. Actually, I could probably get it at level 1 if I just ran there manually. But even if I got the Ice Tachi at level 1 and then went all the way to level 275, took like 5 years, got all the way up to max level. You know what? Even if I reincarnated, what do they call it? I forget what they call it. I've never managed to do it, but where you rebirth and you start the character over again. Even if I did that, like all the way up to max times, I could still go back and turn in that original... Who wants all these things? It's you want these. You picky son of a biscuit. Have your fresh sunstone gauntlets. Nyek, nyek. Okay. But yeah, you no matter how long you wait, you can still turn in that ice tachi. But with these, 1 day is too long. They're so picky. I don't like it. So who wanted this thing? You? It is. Okay. Well, there we go. Now we have 2 high grade, 2 medium grade, and 2 low grade quartzite. I think one of these you're able to grind up and turn into quartzite powder, which would actually be useful to have more than one of it, because then I could have more of that for spell casting. Because later on, if you're like on my mage, I can actually get myself dispel gems, or not gems, dispel spells using quartzite. So that will someday be useful. But the other ones I have no idea what I'm going to do with. For now, they're just taking up burden. Now we just need these two, because this is all done. Healer's Heart is going to be fun. Let's go do that, I guess. Gotta go to the wedding planner first, I believe. Yeah, and I think with that one, you just go straight to the bottom, unlock a door, pull a lever, run to the top, pull another lever, and then you're done. Essentially. Why am I going to the town network? I need to go get married or whatever. Let me in. Let me in. This reminds me of yesterday. There we go. When I was trying to do those jumping puzzles with Unknown Man, and I just kept falling over and over. Okay, so you go to the cathedral. Wait, I actually don't even need this. I mean, I might not be able to cast it. I don't know. But I do have this, because I did the quest once before. But since I already have the gem, I'm just going to use it. Hi, Unknown Man. I was just talking about you, and how I kept dying in the jumping puzzles and everything. That was fun. How are you doing? We're not going this way, we go this way. How's AC going? It is, I'm still upset with it, because, as I've been saying the last, how long we've been doing, 40 minutes, I did numerous of these quests before. As you can see, I have 2 low grade, 2 medium grade, and 2 high grade quartzites. I had to redo all of those because apparently they have a 1-day timer to turn them in, or else they just, I guess, go stale and the NPCs don't want them anymore. So I had to redo all those quests I did yesterday so I can turn them in. And it was the same with this one. This is going to be a redo of another quest that I did just yesterday. And I gotta do it again. It's very sad. I don't appreciate it. But you know, luckily none of the quests were too bad. We go out here? No, we go this way. Upcoming D&D campaign. Read 9 books. Oh my gosh. What are you doing here? Go read. Yeah, I got some reading to catch up on. That's a lot. Are they big books, or are they just like little pamphlets? I don't know. That sounds horrible. I mean, I'm fine with reading. It's just, I don't know, it doesn't sound like a bunch of rule books would be that riveting. Do you have to take notes? I'd probably have to take notes if I was gonna read that much information. Go all the way to the bottom. And then we gotta go over here. Okay. Okay, this is just getting ridiculous. And those dang wisps are just spamming the frickin' stuff at us. I hate them so much. 130 pages. This one's 573 pages. For a rule book? Okay, I'm killing these wisps. I did this last time as well. Yeah, they take note. I have to change my frickin' weapon. The wisps are the worst. Deeply learn all the material at the same time. Other DMs fear you. I can tell. I think I fear you too if you're able to just absorb 500 plus pages of information in a day and just be like, yes, I know all there is to know about D&D. Can you unlock? I know it says extremely difficult, but I did this yesterday. Okay, well there goes another lockpick. Use the lockpick. Wow, it really just... At this point, I don't think I'd ever get the lock open just because of how many lockpicks are broken inside of it. Oh, of course, the first one on the third lockpick gets it. Of course. Our session of mostly improv on Tuesday. That's fair. Well, I hope that that goes well. There, we got that, and we gotta circle our way all the way back up. That's gonna be fun. Hi, Wisp. Okay, was it this door? Yes, it was this door. Okay, good. For a second, I thought it wasn't. Now you go down here. I might as well heal, because I keep draining my health. Why must they be this way? And then it's... I think this lever? Can you stop with the drains? No, where am I? Nope, that was the wrong lever. Great, now we gotta go back down here. Just use both levers and get out of here. Hope that I'm not misconstruing how this is, or else this door over here is going to be closed. And then I'm going to be very depressed. No, we're good. Okay. Now, I think we actually need to semi-fight these things. I need some amount of stamina to fight, though. Oh yeah, and I was just suggesting yesterday two-handed character to you, so maybe if you see that you like two-handed characters from here, then you'll get a sneak peek of what you'll be doing on your next character, possibly. 'Cause yeah, as I said, you hit 2 times with each attack and can hit 2 enemies each time. So it's pretty strong damage, but very little defensive capabilities. Your main defensive skill is if I kill them before they kill me, then they can't kill me. You know? Probably the hardest thing is positioning. Because you need both enemies in your front arc Door is locked. Oh, good. Maybe I just make it look easy. Maybe. I have played a lot of two-handed combat in my life. Mainly because of my own server. Back when I would play on there, my main character was a two-hander. So I'm quite used to playing them. But I'm not even to the good stuff yet. I used my high-level character to get me this. And this is the one weapon in the game with the 3 enemy cleave. And I figured out it was givable. So I just went and got it early on my high level. But it requires base two-handed combat 400. And right now, if we do the meth, then my two-handed combat is... What is that? Is that 3... Brain, I'm too tired for math. Let's see. 400 minus 50 would be 350. Minus 10 would be 340. So 345, I think, is my base two-handed combat. Somewhere around there. So yeah, it's nowhere near base 400 because it's 405 plus 60. So yeah, I still have a long ways to go on this. But it's not that expensive yet, and we're starting to get to the point where we're making the big bucks of XP. Okay, and here we go. Stop getting yourself all tangled up here. Here? No, we need to kill a Moorsman, and one of these guys has a key on him, right? If I remember correctly. Don't select the wisp. Why are you behind me all of a sudden? How did you do that? I swear, that's like my least favorite magic trick, is the enemies just teleporting behind you, just like, Omae wo mo shinderu. Nani? You know? They shouldn't be able to do that. And yet they do. All the time. Hey, the first enemy. Do they all drop the key? No, I was just lucky. Okay. No, we don't need to still be in here. Right. Now we just leave. So key is what we needed. So now we're here. We turn around to go back here, open this chest. And get this. Can I get another one of these? There'd be no reason to. Okay. Let's go turn this in before it goes stale. But I have definitely learned my lesson that saving up quest items a couple levels before you could turn them in is just not worth it. Who wants this one? I don't remember. Did I ever really know? Probably not. I'll just keep handing it to everyone until one of them takes it. There we go. Alright, we got all of them except you. And I think we need to go to Cragstone to start you. And then we'll be done with all the quests that I needed to make up. I would say it's probably going to be a short stream, but I think this quest will take like half an hour, so decently short, but still quite some time to go. And I am considering reading all of it, but I don't know, my throat is not the happiest with me today, so I'm not sure if I will be wanting to. Also, I still don't get why not a cow wears a cow hat. I don't think that's helping his his cover very much. See, if I was actually a cow saying that I wasn't a cow, I wouldn't be wearing a cow hat. Because it would just give me away too much, if you ask me. Let's see. The sign is way over here. And then we got to deal with all the dialogue and posing and all that. If it's off cooldown. I assume it's a 1-day timer. Let's see. A sign. They're everywhere nowadays. From the smile on a grocer's face to the voices that carry on the wind. I'd seen a fair share of signs in my day, but this was a day like no other. This was a sign that I couldn't pass by. I was walking through the center of another capital city, minding my own business, when the sign called to me, like a cheap piece of a muley, gifted with a major coordination cantrip. Curiosity got the better of me, like an Urson cub. I found myself staring at the honeypot, this sign. I didn't mean to get involved, and if given the chance, or if given the choice, I might keep my hands clean, turn the other way, and let well enough alone. But who was I trying to fool? I was just as interested as the next person trapped on this crazy world, where magic rules and bugs can talk. The letters were evenly spaced, like cobwebs that lined my mind, the words that were written by a fair and steady hand. I could only imagine it was a dame who had started me off on this path. If it was a dame, that meant trouble. Dames always meant trouble. I finished reading. I caught the bits and pieces hidden in the well-written prose. There was something amiss. This dame needed help. She was reaching out to any soul that didn't have Dark Master of all things evil tattooed on their foreheads. I pondered if I should get involved as I read the location of her place, the Lytlethorpe Keep, Central Tower. Would I stay, or would I go? I love this quest. We need more quests, like narrative quests like this. It's so good. Okay, Lytlethorpe is right in here. There we are. So yeah, if you can't tell, I think it's literally called the Noir Investigation is the quest. So it's one of those, you know, old detective things, or a parody of the old detective things, where the guy is always monologuing to himself and calling people dames. It's great. Okay, now I made the mistake last time. I need to like line up with this chair. There we go. Then you talk to her. You must have seen the sign. Please sit down. I'm so glad you came. They were always glad. It meant that they no longer had to shoulder the weight of what they knew alone. Camaraderie came from such knowledge. She kept talking, and I was having trouble listening. She just keeps doing a bunch of emotes over there. My mind kept drifting away to other thoughts. She talked fast, like the buzzing of bees around the first flower in spring. I was doing my best to keep up with the conversation, but it was too much. After a moment or two, I didn't care anymore. I got comfortable. The dame kept going, talking about some man, maybe in green armor, with a green dagger or something like that. I don't care anymore. Her voice was grating on my nerves, like cheese drawn over a cheese grater. I shifted and got really comfortable. The dame was worried. I felt like I should stand up, clear my throat, tell her everything would be fine. But that would mean she'd sob. Too late. The buzzing sound of her voice gave way to delirious talk about assassins, or assassination. I pretended to listen and leaned forward. I'm actually keeping up with what it's saying this time. That's good. Then it ceased. It's like opening a singularity chest to find 3 perfectly matched dual major armor pieces, each enhancing a skill I possessed. But like every dream, it ended. Reality smacked me in the jaw like a peerless drudge, catching me with my face played up. The droning pitch of her voice returned. I got comfortable and listened to the rest of the dame's tale. And that's why I need you to help me. I stood quickly. Better she thought I heard everything that she had to say, rather than tell her the truth. I crossed my arm and gave her a stern look. Before I could think, I said, I'll do it. She gave me a clean towel, a trade note for my trouble, and a location. Spot we knew he could be found was off the road in a copse of trees north of Nanto. I didn't have to ask what to expect there. Like I said before, dames were always trouble. I was knee-deep with this one. The kiss was a nice touch, though it left me with a sinking feeling, like getting caught off guard when the Hope Slayer asked you a question. Never peeve the 24-foot-tall Lord of Darkness. You might find yourself falling from the top of the world, and believe me, you can't see your home from there. I weighed my choices and decided what I needed to do. The entrance to the place would be hidden amongst the trees, but I'd find a way in. Even though I just did this quest yesterday, it's still so good. Okay, Nanto, it's over here. Okay. And then the copse of trees was, yeah, up here. Pretty far away. We're gonna be running for a minute. You know, maybe I was just thinking that I should probably transmog my Blackfire seasoned explorer armor, because I'm probably going to be using that for a long time. Like, I don't know, I would hope when I hit 150 I will be able to move on and, you know, wear other stuff, but I feel like finding a full set of Covenant armor that has all the buffs I need and set bonuses will be very difficult, and even then the armor probably won't be that much better until I get it tinkered. So I'm betting I'll be stuck in the Blackfire Explorer armor for a significant amount of time, and then I might as well just transmog it on, because I want to look cool, and I don't want to wait all the way until like max level and I get super good gear. Especially because even if I get level 150 gear, that's good. I will then inevitably have to replace it at like level 180 or 200 when I start getting legendary keys and start putting together a legendary set of armor. So it's neither one is a permanent option, but I feel like the explorer armor lasts the longest out of them probably. What's that? Why is there just a linen vest on the ground? A copper flaming Schlager. Well then. Alright, trees. These are special trees because they're clickable trees. And if I remember correctly, it's this one. I probably don't, but we'll see. I was rattled. I found myself unable to find the forest for the trees. I ran my hands along the bark, searching for any type of clue that might help me understand what the dame wanted. I should have been listening. Now I was out here playing patty cake with a tree. I felt pretty foolish. Alright, is it this tree? Looks like the same one. Alright, one of these doesn't do that. No, select the tree. Not that tree. This tree. Okay, apparently this tree. They have such a big hitbox. No, it looks like the same dialogue. How about this one? Nope, same dialogue. The portal tree. I wonder if this is pointing directly at it. Nope, it's pointing to the middle of nowhere. Did I already do this one? I think I did. How about this one? Nope, same thing. What about that one? Nope, not that one either. I found it like third try last time. This time we're just getting unlucky. Using like every tree except for the correct one. This is just a regular tree. Okay. It's hard to tell. Hard to tell which ones are part of it, which ones aren't. Like, are you part of it? No, that's a different tree. But you look like you're the tree. You are the tree. How come I couldn't select you before? Have I done this one yet? I think I have. Oh no, this was the right one. Ever since I left the dame standing in her room all alone, I couldn't help but wonder, what was the towel for? Stopped and looked myself over twice, nothing on my face or hands. I knew I should have been paying attention while she was talking, but her voice kept me occupied. I found myself running my hands over the trees. They all looked alike in this little copse. I felt strange, like being watched. The feeling passed after a moment as I ran my hands over the tree in front of me. I was struck by an odd feeling of déjà vu. I didn't remember seeing this place before, but somewhere in the dark shadows that shrouded my mind, I knew I had. Sure, it had changed, but a lot had changed since I walked through that first swirling portal on Ispar. I was no hero there. I was simply living my life. Felt like I was waiting for something. I had the urge to dance. I suddenly realized that this tree was different from the others. It's a light, syrupy texture that coated the branches. Pulled my hand up to my lips for a quick taste. A heavy weight landed on my shoulders in the form of my head. Felt like having a weight of the world cast on you while making a run to the shop to unload your latest armor haul. Everything slowed down, and a taste of honey filled my mouth. I dropped to a knee, but it wasn't enough. I fell to the ground like a Mossport who had zigged when he should have zagged. The world spun out of control. A long gray tunnel filled with purple shards told me that I was heading back to my life stone. The tree sap had played the role of a hammer to my Olthoi shell. But my ride through the big swirl dropped me somewhere else. I didn't know where I was. An open book on a nearby desk called to me. That'd be this book. The book told me a strange tale. Seems that there was an operation waylaying adventurers foolish enough to come into contact with the trees. Some kind of strange powder created by a man that lurked in the shadows coated the branches. The powder induced hallucinations and caused paralysis. That explained the dancing and the falling down. Reading on, I found out that whoever was keeping this little ledger was responsible for delivery of those that fell at the tree. Seems I was supposed to be the next. I had been kidnapped. Whoever had written this journal had thought better of delivering me to the brigands. They'd left me with my armor, weapons, and trinkets. I need to find them and shake them down for information. Judging by the timbre of the book, that wouldn't be hard. Outside I heard the sounds of the jungle. I wasn't on the mainland of Dareth. No. More likely this was the Visayan Islands. Somewhere outside. I figured on finding answers. There's a lot of there's a lot of dialogue. I told you this is a long quest. Lots of dialogue, a lot of things to do. Then you talk to this guy. The man standing before me looked haggard. As soon as he saw me approaching, he started shaking like a leaf getting ready to be shed in the autumn air. Being one to press my advantage, I shook the man down. He folded like a simulacrum skin suit falling to the ground. He was begging me not to slap him silly. He wasn't worth the effort. His tale was pretty simple. Lonely kid. Came through the portal from Ispar and got involved in the wrong crowd. He'd heard whispers coming down through the chain of command and ran when the kitchen fires grew too hot. Now he was a refugee, living in McNeil's freehold. He talked big, but sobbed bigger. I was less than enthused and waited for his blubbering to end. When his tantrum was done, he handed me a torch, a signed confession, and a portal gem. The choice was up to me now. Did I chance what lay in the dungeon beyond this gem? Blubbering idiot standing before me told me it was dark. How dark? Dark enough that the torch would be my only light? I wasn't afraid, just wary. Maybe this would best wait for a later time. No. We can go in now. Gentleman Jake proved to be good to his word. The place was dark, nearly as dark as the shadowy souls that stalked the darker places of Dareth. I'd need to watch my step in here, or get stuck at the bottom of some ditch. What the gentleman hadn't told me, the portal gem he'd given me dropped me in a room with no doors, just this bookcase. No surprise that when I started to peruse the shelves, I found that most of them were covered in settled dust. All the books were covered in the dust too, except one. It stood out like a Varindy at an allegiance meeting. I pulled the book a little, and the bookcase parted. Now, I don't remember where I go in here. I think it's linear, though. We're just gonna head down this way. Up here. Gonna say yes. Down in here. Ah, yes. And then you jump in the pit. And then there's this thing. You talk to it. Stone was smooth along... Yeah, the stone was smooth along the bottom and looked roughly like a mosswort. In the dark, it was difficult to tell if there were markings lining the base of the statue. For the first time since talking to the dame, I felt lost, confused. What did the mossworts have to do with an assassination attempt? Did they have anything to do with it? Dark room had me jumping at shadows. A shiver ran down my spine. That feeling of being watched came over me again. Without warning, the great behemoth in front of me came to life. Threw my hands up instinctively. Voices started hammering my ears like Lugians pounding metal on anvils in Lundvak Tukul. The statue swung once. My world spun out of control. Graven Idol teleports you with beaten into submission. I saw the spinning of the portal and realized what was coming next. The trip was rough. Felt like a banderling had just hit me upside the head with a club while I was wearing a cloth cap. Not enough foresight on the hunter's part. Only this time, the hunter was looking to trap answers and catching beatings in their place. I figured on seeing my life stone again, but as the swirl of the portal space started to drip away, leaving the hard edges of reality in its place, I saw that things couldn't be much worse than this. I was caged like a sacrifice. On the floor lay a broken fishing pole and a skeleton. A set of keys haunted me out in the hall beyond the locked prison door. The slack jaw and vacant eyes of the skeleton mocked me, like a tattoo displayed on one of the drones standing around the marketplace. Dead men told no tales for the most part, but something told me the skeleton would be howling like a mite if given half a chance. Alright, we get up, and then we grab this, and we have to put it on, and then you do next item until you get the keyring, and then use it. Brilliance comes in small bursts. Sometimes when starving becomes a possible reality. Possible reality? Wasn't that an oxymoron? No time to quibble with myself. I gently lifted the key and drew it towards me. Score 1 for being brighter than the poor soul beside me. I couldn't contain my elation. I felt the altar lock documenting his latest find. This key was my ticket to freedom, and I was ready to be free. I decided the pull might have some worth if I gave it back to the dame when the time came. The room beyond was full of torches, cells like mine, a single wooden door. I figured the door wasn't going to open by the usual method, and the keyring was empty. Felt like a rat caught in a maze without cheese. My stomach was grumbling, and I could smell food cooking somewhere beyond. Okay, so you do that, and if I remember correctly, you go to this side of the room, pick up this thingamahusama, what's it? And then you put it on, and then I need the torch on the north side of the room, which I think is this one. In the rooms beyond, I heard the sound of people snoring. They were all asleep, like Mamaya wrapped snugly in their sarcophagi. If I was smart and quiet, I would find my way out. No need to itch for a fight. I noticed a discarded piece of cloth laying on the ground not far from the torch. Maybe it would come in handy. Alright, because I have the mask on, none of them wake up to attack me. I think. If I take the mask off, do you think they attack you? I don't know. I've never taken the mask off halfway through the quest. Alright, you stay left. Go down here. You give the note to this guy. He looked like a kid running around the holiday pole. The gleam in his eye reminded me of a diamond golem in the noonday sun. He opened the door without hesitation and bowed deeply. Alright. And then I don't know, do I look at this first to get this stuff? Room was full of gold and trinkets, but this was the real prize. It was stuck to the top of the pedestal by hardened and caked mud. Tried to pry the thing off the pedestal, but to no avail. Needed something to clean it with. The towel! Once again, my initial discussion with the dame flooded into my head. She'd given me a towel. I hadn't known what it was for. Now it was all clear. Needed to handle this thing right. If I could just get the towel to wipe off the scroll case. There we go. I wiped the scroll case clean. The towel was as rancid as a swamp gromney's breath. I tossed it aside. Then, like a tinkerer applying iron to a client's prized sword, I lifted the scroll case. I had the case in my hand. I didn't want to open it for fear that the contents might crumble away to nothing. Besides, in the recesses of my mind, I figured that this was what the dame was looking for. I looked around the room and spotted a portal. It beckoned me like the soul cage that imprisons Gaerlin. I was happy. And there was no time like the present to see where this portal would take me. Alright, where does it take me? Oh yeah, it takes us right outside Lytlethorpe, doesn't it? It does. Alright, and then I think I just hand her the note, the mask, the scroll case, and the fishing pole. And then I think the quest is done. Because then she'll give me a gumshoe token, and from that, we will be able to go and actually turn it in at the marketplace, which will be delightful, because then I'll be caught up on all the quests that I've already done before. Whoop-de-doo. Hi, here, have a thing. Take it, there you go. She looked me over like a jeweler appraising a fine gem. Sunstone, maybe, or white sapphire. Whatever the look meant, it made me feel appreciated. I was pleased that I had figured out what the dame wanted. I could see by the expression on her face I'd done well. This looks like it could be something. I'll have it looked over. You've done well, you deserve a reward. She was talking again, but her voice wasn't as annoying as before. There was a pleasurable quality to it now. I'd done good. The dame was pleased, and I knew that I'd be handsomely rewarded. Well earned in my book. She said something funny. We both laughed. She handed me a gift. Oh, that's different than what I got last time. Does she just give me random loot items? I think she does. Not bad. I bowed and headed off to join the festival celebrations. There was something I could do with this broken fishing pole, this mask, and this note. Something gnawed at my conscience, like a reed shark gnawing a shin bone. I didn't think that I'd found all there was to know. For now, I was content to enjoy the holiday cheer. Alright, then the mask. Interesting. Looks like they like to dress up. You too? I didn't know if it was a question. It sounded more like a statement. I stood there, bewildered, like a mage waiting for a spell to kill a drudge, only to see the mana disappear into nowhere. She turned away from me, and I shrugged. She curtsied, and I stared at her in quiet disbelief. Of all the gifts the High Queen bestowed upon me for this little task, this was the best. Oh, and yes, you can dye it. I curtsied, and headed out to join the festival celebrations. And it's the same thing. Here, have a fishing pole. It's broken. No getting past this dame. She spotted the missing line and reel before I handed the broken pole over. I made some quick comment to her about finding it in the bandit hideout. Maybe to turn up a clue here or there. It was a lie. It felt like a lie. Thinking quick, I scratched my head. That threw her off. I don't believe it. It threw her off. Wait, why am I thinking this? Ooh, did she just say something funny? Drat. A second too late, and now I look foolish. What to do? The dame paused and then turned away a moment. I stopped acting like a jerk. Apparently she knew my ruse. Still, this was better than a useless fishing rod. She bowed. I bowed in response and headed out to join the... Okay, that's the same thing after that. Confession. This is interesting. This man will certainly have information we can use. Pretty swell work. I felt proud, like an adventurer who killed his first drudge. I showed my pride by standing like a conquering hero. She handed me two gifts, the hat and the token. A hat and a token. She said that she'd take the token and give me a new title, something like Gumshoe. I didn't ken what the dame was saying, but the words felt pretty good. Praise is best served warm and meaningful. She turned back, holding a trinket. I tried to tell her no. She'd hear nothing of it. She dropped the trinket into my hands, a reward for a job well done. Again, she blew me a kiss. This dame was strange. It was just a note. Sure, it might lead it might be a lead to solving a question about who tried to kill the High Queen, but then again, it might lead to an interesting new recipe for chicken. I smiled either way and bowed, and headed out to join the festival celebrations. Yep. And that's that. That's the whole quest. It's a long one. Yeah, there's a lot of twists and turns and a lot of talking, but not a lot actually happens. And apparently you get random loot from it. 2 minors and a major, that's not bad. It's not good for me right now, but it's not bad overall. That's for sure. Okay. Now we go turn this in before it goes stale. To whoever this is for. How about you? What about you? Did they take it? They did. How about you? Or you? Maybe you? The issue is I can't remember who I've turned stuff into before and it actually worked, so I just have to retry everyone. Was it literally the first one that I skipped over? It was. Great. Okay. Well, my inventory is very full of many duplicate quest items. That's great. But we did get up to level 79. The only quest in there I didn't do, as I think I mentioned, was the Varindi Scalpel quest. And it does look like I would possibly be able to do that, but I would need to find the Habitat portal gem. Yeah, because the item they want is the glittering blade. I don't need to put the scalpel together. I just need to get the blade from the dungeon and turn it in. But I'll need high lockpicking. And I don't think I have enough lockpick for that thing, because it says 350 plus skill recommended, 400 plus ideally. I have 250. So I might be able to unlock, just barely after like a ton of attempts, a door or something that is 350 skill. But if they're recommending I have 350 skill, it usually means that the door I need to unlock is much higher. So I probably can't do that dungeon, especially because I don't have the gem to get it anyway, so it don't matter too much. But we're gonna go, and I'm gonna go, and yeah, it took about an extra half hour, like I thought. But thank you for being here while I went through and trudged through doing all those quests over again. And yeah, I will see you guys next time, when I may or may not be playing a different game. Who knows? I do like Asheron's Call, and I've been playing it a lot lately, but I should probably play a different game. I was thinking Among the Sleep, as it were. Perhaps that would be a good game to play for tomorrow. I think it's a little scary. I don't remember. I think it's a horror game. I don't quite remember. It's been like, I don't know, 10 years since I saw somebody play it, I think. But we'll see how that goes. So, yes. You also have a good day, Unknown Man. Have fun reading all of those books. I hope that goes well, and that your D&D session also goes well. And I will see you guys next time. And I will for sure see you next Wednesday, Unknown Man. So, goodbye.